I'm going to be doing some necklaces. And since I've already posted stuff on YouTube, I'm not going to do a lot of explaining because if you followed me on YouTube, you'll kind of know some of these methods that I'm doing. I did this cabochon. It's a nice raised piece of glass with an antique photograph in it. And I'm going to make a couple necklaces for special order. And I just thought I'd show you how I do these. I got my Eagle Brand 6040. And I'm going to let you know that this is not to be worn on the skin because it has lead in it. It will have a long length on it, and I will explain it to the people who wear it that it is meant to be worn with clothing, not up against the skin. I could use silver gleam, but it has more of a pewter look. And the pewter look, it's really hard to get that to look like silver. I mean, like a smooth silver base. It can be done. I just have to mess with it to get, how do you say, used to the silver gleam once again. I love it. It's great for pendants that are worn right on the skin because it has no lead in it. But these, because they're going to be held up against, you know, on a sweater, or because it will have a longer chain or a longer silk necklace, black silk, that it will sit up against some piece of clothing, so it wouldn't be an issue. So let's get started. And all I'm going to do is tin this right now, get it going. My iron is set at just between 310 and 360. I always have it right in the middle. Seems like it's a good place for it to be. All I did was use a little flux on a Q-tip. You know me and Q-tips. We definitely have, I have a stock, I think, in Q-tips. Not really, but I should, because I use so many of them. So I'm just going to go around, give it a nice coating of solder. I'm going to zoom out here just a little bit. Let's see if I can go in there just a little bit. Okay. Can't get everything in here. It's kind of hard to do the taping or the video and get your iron in here and get it so everybody can see it. It's kind of a crazy thing to do, but I need to get a leather glove on because this is going to get hot. It's going to get hot real fast. Hold on just a second. Okay. Now I'm not going to get burned. All right. Go around. I'll get a nice bead on that edge. For right now, I'm just trying to get it tinned up. I'll probably do a twisted wire where the cabochon and the mirror meet, just because there's a little line there from the difference. Because the cabochon curves down and around, and the mirror is, of course, straight. So that kind of gives you that little crease right there. So we're going to probably twist up some wire and stick it in there. I prefer to do that anyway. And then that will give me the place to make the little, the round, oh yeah. Let's find the words, Julie. The place to put the cord through. Got a little bit too much on there. I'm just taking some off. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do on this piece yet. I'm supposed to make it make everyone look different because it's going to 3 sisters. And each one has to look a little different. So that's always a challenge. I know I can do it. It's always fun to have to do it. So now you're not going to have a lot of issues with a lot, how do I say it? A lot of people have problems with mirror if they use flux. It gets this little, I call it, it's kind of like a ghostly appearance underneath the glass. It eats the mirror away and it looks old and dingy. Well, when you use flux like I'm using, you're not going to have that issue, which is kind of nice. It's just going to be nice and clean. You're not going to have that. It's not going to look like an old mirror. It's going to always look nice because you don't have any flux seeping underneath your foil and getting on your glass. So now I've got that all done. I'm going to give it a good clean with my glass cleaner. Okay. I'm going to set this aside, let it cool while I do another one. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video until I come back. And then we'll move on. And no sense you watching me do every one of them. I think you kind of get the gist of it. I'm just going to go ahead and get all of them done. And then we'll come up with a game plan for making them all look a little different. Okay? I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. All right, I got them all tinned. They've all been cleaned once with some cleaner. I went back around and cleaned out this groove in the middle right here so I could lay my wire in there. This is a 20 gauge. Yeah, I think it's a 20. Let me see. No, yeah, I think it's a 20. Hold on. Yeah, it's a 20 gauge wire. I did 2 of them. I just twisted it with my wire twister, which looks like this. Maybe it's an old one. The new ones are plastic. They're not made as well. I like the wooden ones better. But all the same, it works. Anyway, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to lay this in here. I've already kind of bent it around once. But now comes the tricky part. And a lot of people have a hard time with wire and all this fun stuff. So because it's a situation where if you don't get a good chunk of it down, it will actually pull your foil away from your piece. And we don't want that. So we're going to give it a good soldering. And let's hope that we can get it into that crease the best we can. I think I got it. I'm going to put a little, same thing, no flux brush, just a Q-tip. I'm going to put that on there. I'm going to get some good solder. And I'm going to lay that right on that wire and let it melt down over. Make sure you have a leather glove on when you're doing this because that wire gets really hot. And it will burn you, so I'm just warning you. So now it might not look really pretty right now, but we will go around and fine tune it. But we're just going to keep going around at this moment. And still using this. And really, this is a good example of why you don't need the flux brush. All those spaces in between that wire, if you get that loaded with flux and then you solder over it, what's the first thing that's going to happen? It's going to corrode and all that white stuff is going to come through no matter how much you patina and no matter how much you wax and clean and do this and do that. I've heard so many things on YouTube of how to get rid of that. You're never going to get rid of it because it's trapped in between the solder. It doesn't all burn out because you can hear it. It just sizzles. It goes tss. Even mine sizzles and I don't even have that much in there. So if that tells you anything. So we're going to just basically keep going all the way around until we get it all soldered in there. But you can see it makes a really nice line. It kind of gives it a decorative design on this. I'm going to do it to all the pieces. So, and I've still got to figure out how to make each one of them look different. It's okay. Once one starts, it will all start flowing and I'll think of it. But right now I'm just concentrating on getting this wire all the way around and getting it, just getting it all filled in. I'm going to have to pause my video. Somebody's walking in my studio. I'll be back. Okay, I'm going to finish this up. I had a couple customers, so I'm going to try to get this done real quick before anybody else come in. It's that time of year, right? But that's okay. Feeds my habit. Sell stuff, buy more stuff. Sell stuff, buy more stuff. Okay, I'm setting my iron down right on top of that wire so it will melt. And you really want to get some heat to that so it melts down inside, because you really want that to have a nice look. You want it to kind of look like it's part of the piece, not just sitting there. That's what I like. I like it where it looks like there's a definition of it. And I'll show you how that works out here, because right now, as you can see, let me see, I'll zoom in. It looks really kind of clobby at this point. And I'll show you how I'm going to smooth that out in just a second. Okay, coming around to the end. Usually I put this at the very bottom. I don't know what was I thinking. Bad day for Julie. I'll do the next one. I'll do it better. I'm gonna cut that off. Definitely want to have where they join together perfectly. I don't want it to one side be bulky and the other side not. So we're gonna go ahead and just cut it a little bit more off, because once it bends down, they should meet together. Yep. Okay. Pound it a little bit. Yeah, looks pretty good. Okay, little flux on here. Nice. I push down a little bit too. Not real hard, just enough to make sure it stays down as I'm soldering it. Okay. This one I'm going to have to work my way into it, because this is a pre-tinned wire too. I get it off of Amazon, and you can get it off of I get a lot of it off of Warner Glass. I think a lot of stained glass studios carry it. It comes in 20, being this, I think you can get it even smaller than 20. I think you can go down farther than that. 2016 or 2018, 16, and 14 is what I basically use all the time. I kind of go through a lot of that, so you know that's just what I use, but it's always a pre-tinned wire, and that's where I get it from. So, okay, it came together pretty nice. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and flex it one more time, and I'm going to go around and fine-tune this so it really is pronounced better than what it is right now. And let's see. I maybe do a close-up on that. So let's see if I raise this up just a hair. Hold on a second. I'm going to pause you and get this refocused. Just a second. Okay, I'm back. All right, now I'm just going to go around this edge, and I'm holding this flat up against here and just kind of running my iron nice and slow. Now you see how it brings that, out? It gives it a hold on, I'll think of the word. It makes it pop. I'll say pop. It's more pronounced now that I've done it this way. Hold on, I got another customer.